Okay, so I'm not even gonna like try and make up any like cool sort of intro for this video, because holy crap, Deltarune freaking today. Deltarune's chapters 3 through 4 and technically 1 plus 2 were announced earlier today in the Nintendo Switch Direct, and oh my god, I am so happy, so happy. I didn't want this to be my return video, but god dang it, those FNF songs can just wait a second, because I need to talk about this. Alright, I'm calming down now, okay. Back to what we were saying. Basically, although Deltarune is today, the actual release date is, well, June 5th. June 5th? Wait, that's near my birthday. Let's go! Since we have some time before those next chapters, it's time we analyzed what was shown in the announcement video and also other sources that kinda got revealed afterwards. So yeah, I'm gonna be spending all this time analyzing all that stuff. So, you know what? Before we get right into that though, let's talk about how much of a genius this madman Tobias Williams Fox is. Because oh my god, like I saw one post saying that like Toby Fox has the chance to do the funniest thing tomorrow on like March 31st. And well, technically that's true, because when you really think about it, all the memes about Deltarune tomorrow were true on April 1st. Because like Deltarune is technically today, obviously. Yesterday was yesterday. And if yesterday was Deltarune tomorrow, well then, god dang, the dude is like a 10D level chess mastermind. Oh my god. Like, screw the ideas that Gasters are behind all this. It's actually just this dumb dog that's actually the final boss of this entire game. Alright, now it's actually time we analyze this entire announcement, because I am actually really excited from the things that were shown. So first off, we have Mr. Tobias Fox just walking up, falling over, you know, doing some goofy stuff. And then we get a shot of Chris getting up as they're accompanied by Susie and Rousey. And this might be me looking into this really too hard, like I overthink things a lot, so it might be me just overanalyzing. But Chris only helps Susie up and then just stares at Rousey. And we already know Chris either doesn't like or has intense mixed feelings for Rousey. So this sort of stood out to me while I was watching. But anyhow, we can ignore this because they get together and then they start walking up as we see the Castletown residents. And we also see Queen and even one of those shadow people that we see in all the chapter 3 teasers. Now this could be like something for the trailer and nothing like much to worry about. Similar to how like in Undertale's trailers, like Bone Trussell has like a third verse even though it doesn't exist in game. However, I'm going to overanalyze the crap out of this, because why is Rousey in their chapter 1 design here? Like they have the hat on and everything, like I'm wondering what exactly this is. And again, it just might be a scene for the trailer, but it's something to really think about, you know? And then as we keep going, we see a bunch of old screenshots from the past chapters. We get a tiny bit of chapter 1, and by that I mean literally just one scene. And most of the stuff is basically just old stuff from chapter 2. But now we get some new footage, and it starts off with the shadow dudes that we saw like first tease, I think in the Spampton sweepstakes. And looking at this frame, we can see all of our party members' healths like got upgraded again. Rousey went from dying from a dang piece of tissue falling on him to now surviving seed level nukes. Wow. I mean, I'm just kidding though, he probably died from the smoke inhalation first, but it seems like there's a trend of us getting more and more health added as the chapters go on. The other thing that this fight shows us is also the mechanics and outfits for this battle. The costumes they're wearing seem to be some sort of mafia looking getup, and it looks honestly amazing. I mean, look at Rousey, I mean, jeez. Little mafia boy right there. We also have an ammo count and a timer, which means it's a 100% timed attack kind of thing. Similar to how like the pop-up ads in chapter 2, you had to click on them fast enough before the timer went down kind of thing. Honestly, this is me predicting a bit too much, but I think this also would show how this mechanic works. I think if you just use Chris to act, you probably have less bullets than if you use a group act. And also it seems like you can shoot 3 bullets at a time, so it costs more bullets but you do more damage, it seems. Going on to the next scene, we see this weird looking acid trip area. And weird trippy Godzilla vs. Hedorah reference aside, it seems like these like squiggles are attacking you and you need to block them with the bumpers. Clearly the person recording kinda sucks at the game considering that they lost a life it seems. But spoilers for the newsletter that I'm gonna touch up on later, it seems this room is one of those console difference rooms that they implemented to show off some features that the Switch 2 has, and along with making it unique for other consoles. And if you saw the Switch 2 Direct earlier, you know that they can use the like joysticks now as mouse mechanics. So it seems like that's what this room is doing. And I would get a dang like rhythm game segment with like freaking Guitar Hero of all things, and holy crap, they look so cool in this scene. Susie is really going hard on those drums, so it makes it really impossible to really tell what her outfit is honestly. But it seems like they're all going for an old school rock aesthetic, though I am questioning a bit who we're playing as. I'd assume Chris, but if you look at Susie's chart, apparently she is knocked out of the competition, like crossed out and everything. The only thing I can think of being the case is that Susie is so rebellious that she just lost on purpose and is just going off on the drums. And considering because she's literally going all out even without any lyrics hitting the bars or anything, I'd assume that she actually is just knocked out because it's a scripted thing for her. And knowing Rouse, he'd actually sing along with the song, and well, Chris kind of needs to do what we're doing, so it makes sense. And if you look in the background, I tried reading out what it says behind the charting, and I think it reads something like Lightner's Live, which would make sense for the TV visuals, and especially the band aesthetic that they're going with. Also, side note, the Deltarune symbol is on the drums. I don't know what to say to that other than that's honestly just a really cool feature. The next shot is heavily confusing to me about what's happening exactly. We see Chris and Susie in these weird different shades of color as the glass is falling on them. Then Susie grabs Chris and chucks them on a higher ledge. But the funny thing is, if you like go frame by frame, you can notice that they just reused like a little Chris ball sprite or something and then recolor it till after Chris hit the ledge, so you can see them like just immediately change to the color palette. That's probably just an error, so I won't look into that much. But I will look into the color palette because honestly, when I first saw this, I immediately thought that Chris looked exactly like the vessel from the start of the game. And putting them side by side, you can definitely tell there's similarities. Maybe it's not exactly right, but I feel like it's very similar to the color palette the vessel has at the beginning. Okay, I'm just putting this in as a very big crack shot theory I had while editing this video, but what if, like, if you remember the line, like, a world darker than dark or something like that. I'm not trying to research where it came from, but I do remember that line from Gaster or something. What if this is the world that's darker than dark? That's why the color palettes are different. And if that's the case, what if you can go even darker than dark? Like, even darker than a dark world. And that's what the vessel is. I think I'm cooking there. And another very important feature I want to point out about all this is that look at the yellow like window looking things at the top. Now if you've ever been in a church, you know exactly what this is. These are the glass stained panels that are inside of a church. And if you even compare the ones from the church in game to these, they look very similar. So I guess what people have been saying for years about one of the chapters being in a church is actually true, and especially chapter 4, because that's the one everyone said would have a bishop as the boss, which this honestly just blatantly confirms it, along with other things that happen later, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Next up, we get like a little montage of the upcoming chapters and everything. We get to see both King and Queen as the bosses of chapter 1 and 2. And that leads me to my next argument, because then we see the man that Spamton tells you to turn off, Tenna, or whatever we call him, I don't know. But for now, Tenna, unlike a lot of fan interpretations I've seen of the dude, seems to be going a more 3D route for his appearance. And if you look around a bit, you can also see that Tenna is inside of a TV screen and giving you like a laugh, or whoever is actually staring at the screen a laugh. My guess is that this is either a cutscene at the beginning of the chapter, like when you're first entering the Dark World, or during the boss fight with Tenna itself. It also doesn't seem like he has a body, but it could be one of two things. Either he just doesn't have one, or the head is like floating just above it, so it can give this like cool effect off kind of thing, like it detaches kind of thing, you know what I mean? But with this in mind, with chapter 1 and 2 showing their main bosses, and 3 apparently showing what I can only assume what is the next boss, 4 is kind of confusing in that it's showing Susie and Chris getting chased by whatever these weird looking eyeball things are. Also again, we see more Deltarune symbols on the floor as they're running. Me personally, I don't know what's happening, but I will say this is my theory. I think that going in line with the other 3 being the bosses or aspects of the bosses, I think this is us seeing like an attack the next boss has, or like the chapter 4 boss has. And as to not spoil their appearance, because Tenna basically was confirmed to be the appearance of the next boss, I think. So that's why Toby was fine with it. I think this is us running away from the boss, or like something the boss sent to attack us kind of thing. Either way, I think it's just that we don't want to get spoiled on the chapter 4 boss kind of thing, you know? And then the announcement just ends with this honestly really sick animation with what I can only assume is the angel opening its wings. And if we look very closely, it has a similar aspect to those titans that Rousey mentioned in chapter 2, which makes me wonder what sort of connection these two beings really share. So although that was the end for the announcement video, there are a few more things that were shown to us after the announcement video and even told to us through the newsletter that got released. Let's start off first with the screenshots that were newly added on the Steam page. The first of them being the Fun Gang apparently looking at Jockington growing a beard. Now, ignoring for a second the majestic image of bearded Jockington, there's a strange creature on the left. I have zero clue what this thing is, but I want to say this scene is taking place in chapter 4. Mainly because I feel like it might fit in the church aesthetic a lot more. Plus, Jockington being here I feel like has to mean something. Because Jockington isn't obviously with us in chapter 3 unless it's like a little Easter egg kind of thing, like similar to how chapter 2 had it. But also the floor I'm looking at reminds me a bit of those glass like panes from earlier, and like these are all the scraplets that are on the ground kind of thing. So honestly, this might be a chapter 4 level. The second screenshot shows a pair of like strange creatures with ghostly effects around them, and you can clearly tell this is chapter 4. As you can compare the health of the Fun Gang, like we saw earlier with the Shadow Man fight, or Shadow Men or whatever they're called, and we compare them to this, and now Rousey can just survive planetary nukes. Like, yeah, this has to be in chapter 4. And this sort of makes me think that these could be like those bells of sorts that are inside churches, but I'm not really an expert on the church layout or anything, or like what's actually inside of churches. So if you have any idea what these could be, then let me know in the comments. This also seems to mean that the whole weird color palette thing might just be at the beginning of the chapter, as Chris and Susie seem to be fine now. The third screenshot is once again showing the Shadow Men fight from earlier, and last but not least we get shown the Guitar Hero segment again, and yeah, you can basically see that the background said Lightner's Live in the background. Also, holy crap, there are lyrics to this song? Now I'm really interested in how Rousey is going to sound singing this song. I mean, we already have 2 voice songs in Deltarune, so I guess why not make a third? Now, just real quickly before ending off this video, we got some more meat with the Deltarune news in the newsletters. Honestly, there's not much to cover that I already haven't said and everything about the video and everything, but we did get confirmation on some things. For example, the game is going to cost $25, but the next chapters are basically free, so that is literally just a steal right there. And also, apparently the soundtrack is going to have 150 songs, including with chapter 3 and 4. So, Jesus Christ. Honestly, I'll just say right here, I make no promises when I say this, but I will be ranking all the songs when the full game releases. I'm talking about all the way up to chapter 7. I will do every single song, all of them ranked, and Jesus, that is actually going to destroy my brain. So going down, we have more things like the wish list options and everything, and then the console differences, like I said. I guess these differences are apparently saying that nothing major will be changed, just like a single room kind of thing. So I guess we shouldn't expect something like, say, Mad Mew Mew being a character that most casual fans probably wouldn't really know about because they don't have the Switch version. And with that being said, that is the end of the newsletter. Oh, and also Pluey's there too. So, what are my thoughts on all this? Honestly, why can't June 5th come any faster? Jesus Christ. I love Deltarune so much, but I'm gonna be honest, my feelings were like waning a bit with the most recent stuff and everything. But now I am like totally back into it. Like, this is at the top of my hyperfixations again. But in anticipation for the game's release, I'm gonna try and do some more Deltarune videos. Maybe revive the whole Deltarune files, I don't know fully for sure. But for one, I am going to finally finish that chapter 2 songs ranked video. I'm just gonna rewrite the entire script again and re-rank those songs, but god dang it, I need to actually finish that for once. And from there, maybe even stream me replaying the game, I don't know. This just honestly made my day. Like, so many announcements happened today, but this one just hit a lot to me. This game came out in like 2018, That was the year it was first shown to the world and whatnot. And I was just in like friggin' starting out high school and everything, and then this just brought back so many memories. For now though, I'm gonna end it here. And June 5th is about to be one of the best days of all time.